Weilà raga, come state ragazzi? In today's video, we're going to be covering volerci and metterci, two very commonly used verbs with ci in Italian that are used when we talk about time. Now, these are pretty much interchangeable, but there is a difference in their meaning if we want to look at it specifically. But you will often find people use these in everyday conversation quite interchangeably. So let's first talk about metterci. Metterci is used to express how much time it takes a person to do something, how much time specifically it takes them. That's the difference with volerci. Volerci is used to say how much time it takes in general. Metterci is how much time it takes you or anyone else. So that is the nuanced difference, if you will, between both verbs. However, as you can see, the lines can get pretty blurred very easily in saying how much time it takes you to get to this piazza versus how much time it just takes in general, right? So anyway, let's see how we conjugate metterci in the present tense. Metterci is used when talking about how much time it takes you or anyone else specifically to do something. You could think of it in this way. Seeing as the verb mettere means to put, it's like how much time someone puts into doing something. You can look at it that way. So, io ci metto. That's how much time it takes me or how much time I put into doing something. Io ci metto. Obviously, these subject pronouns are always optional, but I'm going to be including them for the sake of conjugations. Io ci metto. Tu ci metti. Lui, lei ci mette. Noi ci mettiamo. Voi ci mettete. Loro ci mettono. So you can think of anything you like. If you want to say it takes me an hour to do something, you would say ci metto un'ora. If it takes you an hour to do something, ci metti un'ora. If it takes him or her to do something, and it takes them an hour to do it rather, lui, lei ci mette un'ora. That's it. Nice and simple. You can also use this in the past tense, in the passato prossimo. You can use it in any tense, but I'm just going to show you the present in the passato prossimo. In the passato prossimo, you use the verb avere as its auxiliary. So, mettere is an irregular verb in the passato prossimo. It goes from mettere to messo. All I have to do is say messo for all of the subject pronouns, take a conjugation of the verb avere and conjugate it, depending on who is putting in the amount of time to do something, and place ci before it. So let me show you how we conjugate this in the passato prossimo. I am going to also include the subject pronouns, okay? But just always keep in mind that you don't need the subject pronouns, as the conjugation of avere will let you know who you're talking about. Io ci ho messo. Tu ci hai messo. Lui, lei ci ha messo. Noi ci abbiamo messo. Voi ci avete messo. Loro ci hanno messo. With this verb, you will hear speakers of Italian often just say io c'ho messo. C apostrophe H-O. That is very, very common in Italian. You can feel free to do it as well. It's something that native speakers do all the time. So if I want to tell you, hey, it took me 2 hours to get to this piazza from where I was, I would say ci ho messo 2 ore per arrivarci. Ci ho messo 2 ore per arrivare qui, meglio dire, because I'm here now. So it's better to say ci ho messo 2 ore per arrivare qui. It took me 2 hours to get here, for example. Yeah, it took me. See, now I'm having un dubbio, as we say in Italian, because I'm like, wait, did I just change it to the impersonal and I should use volerci? But they're so intercambiabile. They're so interchangeable. But anyway, now that we're done with using metterci, this is actually a nice time to start talking about volerci. Now, as you can see, even there, I had a dubbio just as I'm filming the video, and I'm like, wait, which one should I be using for a second? But they're completely interchangeable, at least in practice, okay? There is a small little difference, so let's talk about it. Volerci is what we would classify as an impersonal verb. It's used for one in general, how much time it takes one in general to do something. It's not about how much time it takes you, because maybe the way that you walk, the pace at which you walk, it might take you 20 minutes from where you are to get to this piazza. But maybe objectively speaking, if we're talking about the average pace of a person, or the average pace it takes at this time of day in traffic, maybe it takes 15 minutes to get here, or it takes 5 minutes to get here. You see what I'm saying? Ciao! So, we use volerci when talking about things in a general sense. However, you will find people using it also when talking about themselves. So let's see how we conjugate it. As it is an impersonal verb, the good news is there's only two conjugations, the lui lei or the loro form. So you say ci vuole to say how long it takes, ci vuole, and then you say ci vogliono if you're talking about a large number of things. So basically, let's use it in terms of a week. If I say that it takes a week to do something, go somewhere, what have you, you can say ci vuole una settimana. Ci vuole una settimana. But if I now say it takes 2 weeks, I would say ci vogliono 2 settimane. Ci vogliono 2 settimane. And the whole reasoning behind that is because one is a singular word, or at least refers to singular things. It's not a singular word, but it refers to singular things. Una settimana. Yes, it is a singular word. There we go. And if I'm saying 2 settimane, we're now talking about 2 weeks, and also it is a plural word. So that's why we use ci vogliono. So that's the basic idea with volerci. Nice and simple. Ci vuole un'ora. It takes an hour. Ci vogliono 2 ore. Ci vogliono 3 ore. I can also say, for example, ci vuole una mezz'ora. Ci vuole una mezz'ora, because it's all a singular word. But if I want to specifically say 30 minutes, what do I say? Ci vogliono 30 minuti. Ci vogliono 30 minuti. See how it works? Now, how do we use volerci in the passato prossimo? We use it with the verb essere as the auxiliary. As such, we do have to be mindful of the gender and number of the things that we're talking about in the past. So when we're using ci vuole in the passato prossimo, so for the third person singular, it becomes ci è voluto or ci è voluta, because it depends on whether the thing is masculine or feminine. So, ci è voluto un anno. It took a year. Un anno is masculine. If it's feminine, like it took a week, ci è voluta una settimana. It took a week. It's a feminine word, settimana. And what happens if we're talking about multiple things, like a plural word? We would say either ci sono voluti or ci sono volute. So, ci sono voluti tanti anni. It took many years. Ci sono voluti tanti anni. If it took many weeks, I could say ci sono volute tante settimane. Ci sono volute tante settimane. And there you have it. That is how you use metterci and volerci in both the present and passato prossimo in Italian. Let me know down below in the comments section if you guys have any questions, any comments, and I'll try to get back to you guys. And that is going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for tuning in and checking it out. I'm really glad we got to film it in this beautiful piazza in Bologna. Always remember to spread the love, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao, alla prossima.